Hi you guys. My name is Sandisa Luti, but I go by Sandisa Sandy, and I live in South Africa, in Johannesburg, and I'm an influencer. I also have a business, of course. I sell lingerie. Basically, I sell intimate apparel, so from your loungewear to lingerie to your sleepwear.
Tell me a little bit about the history of, your business and your brand. How did it start?
What I'm going to say is you need to have so much patience, and it doesn't take a day. Like you can come up with an idea like today, but it'll never like boom like in a day, of course. So you need to put in all the work and efforts and everything. So on my side, if I could tell you right now, I had like probably 3 or more than 3 businesses before. They all failed. Like I started selling perfumes with my other friend. It didn't work out. I started a business with my other friends, girlfriends. We're selling phone cases. It never worked out. We moved. The next one, we opened an agency. It was functional, but because of mutual efforts, like I felt like I was doing too much. So I was like, nah, because it's like straining. So it's like, okay, let's move. So I was like, okay, cool. So I always had this lingerie business in mind, but I've never actually put it to work. So I was like, okay, I think it's time that I focus on this. And maybe the problem is that I always start with people. So now let me move in alone. I feel like that's when it kind of like blossomed and got into the point where it is. Not that it's like where I want it to be right now, but I'm looking forward to the future because
I always knew that I wanted to be in business, and I always, like, you didn't know exactly where, but you thought, let me just try it. So you jumped, right? And that's one of the most important things for people, like jump.
I did. And another thing that maybe people are struggling to understand as well is that I didn't just wake up and thought, I'm just going to run a business. I worked in retail. So I know the skills, I know the qualities that it needs to run a business and all that. So I've worked in retail for like the longest time. I think after my high school years, I worked, then went to school, and then went again to work in retail. So it started there as well. And I had to learn the tricks and how to run it successfully, basically.
You never gave up. Right? Because a lot of people start a business and be like, it's failed. I'm just not good at this. Do you know what? Let me just forget about that and just go on living the dreams of someone else by working a salary and just getting their job done. But what you said was like, right, it didn't work there. Let me try that. Okay, that didn't work there. Let me try that. And then you were like, okay, hold on a second. All of these things had something in common. It was that I was partnering up with other people. Let me change it and let me now do it on my own, because if you do what you always do, you're going to get what you always get. So if you want to change the formula, you'll get a different answer, and that's exactly what you've done.
I knew I wanted to be in the business field. I guess at that time I didn't know which business I wanted, and I had to experience all of them for me to realize that this is what I love. I used to work for this other retail store, right? So it was owned by Chinese. So you know how they from the ETBT community, like they cater for small TD girls, like straight up. So I was like, okay, cool. Let me just see what I can do with them as well. So my manager used to bring me samples every time when she travels to China and back, because she knew I didn't have a bra size here in SA. 0. Like literally, I was super flat. So she brought me samples. So I loved
like it. Little bee stings.
They were so padded. I was like, what? Basically, I was like lifting my skin at that time because there was no boobs here. So yeah. So anyway, I tried them on and I realized I think there's a lot of people that are struggling like me with bra sizes, and I've seen it happen. So when I started off, my main focus was only on ETBD community, and I was like, that's it. I'm not gonna cater for like your
big bust.
Yeah. So I was like, no, let me just focus on the small titties. Guess what? It didn't actually blow up as much. I realized girls with small titties, they love being free. Like they didn't even patch. It's like the only thing I got like a lot of DMs from people
Be
from
free.
like size 36 going up, and it was like no 30, no 32. And I had like a whole lot of stock. I thought I had this, but I said myself that I remember I actually cried because I spent a lot of money on that stock.
Oh no. But you know what? You need to do these things in order to be able to learn and understand, okay, that didn't work, let's move on to that, because you're testing the market. I actually thought that was a good idea.
Yeah, I actually thought it is a good idea, but I feel like they're comfortable in not wearing bras at all. Like, I know I'm guilty of that right now because my boobs are like small and I don't feel comfortable in bras, though I sell lingerie, but I love looking sexy. So it's like once in a blue moon type of thing. We want to feel sensual, and it's like, okay, let me just do it. But your regular girls are like your big bust. That's what I'm going to tell you. Those would come for you,
and that's where you make the most sales, right? So tell me about like the production and the designing and everything on that. Like, how do you go about selecting and, you know, making sure that something is going to be good for your catalog and your range?
Okay, lucky for me, firstly, I've got my friends are like different in terms of taste. So that's the nicest thing. They are very different. Like, we don't even like the same thing. So that kind of helps somehow, because if I don't feel like sharing on social media, I could literally go to them and ask them if this I could order and would you feel comfortable in it?
Right.
You know? So that helps. And in terms of designs, I actually do that myself. Right now, I'm trying to cut out costs as much as I could. Right. So I'm designing my own websites, I'm designing my own logos, and I've actually had to learn how to do these things. And honestly, I've saved so much money doing that. So it's, yeah.
That's quite key as well. You know, there's a lot of people that want to start their business and they're saying, I need loads of money and I don't know, I need to pay someone to do a website, I need to pay someone to do a logo, I need to pay someone to do a business card. And actually that's not the case. You can actually do it. You can't be lazy and want to be in business.
Exactly. Like, you can't.
You got to like
operate the business at the end of the day. You are. So you better start learning now, I think.
Yeah, you know, you got to learn a little bit about everything quickly, because otherwise, if you don't, someone that does know will probably down the line may, you know, not deceive you, but, you know, may take advantage of your naiveness. Because this is the thing with business. We have to be shrewd. We are living in a world full of good people, bad people, semi-good people. I mean, it's a whole combination out there. True. And the thing is, when you are selling, especially a product, right, you're selling to the masses, and therefore you're going to have to, as you get bigger, having to build a team, and you have to, you know, who's your accountant, you know, what's your taxes, you know, what's the marketing, are you doing, you know, Instagram? Like, there is so much to it, and you really got to keep up with the competition, and you got to know what it is that you are doing. You've got to be an expert in your field. Would you agree?
That is so true. I mean, if you start hiring people now, what are you gonna know of your business in the future? Basically, it'll be known by your employees more than you do, because all you do is to just take up money, and where it goes, like, nah, I don't care, they will run it out. Website, I don't even care how much it costs and all that. That's like a lot of money.
Yeah.
And on my side, I'm not about wasting money, because the goal is to make money.
Exactly. But so, darling, who has been your mentors? Like, you know, who supports you? Who guides you?
This will come as a shocker. In my family side, they are used to the hard labor. It's like, when you grow up, you just need to go to school, study, and practice whatever you study. And I was like, never that person. So I had to grow myself in a way. So I had to be my own mentor in a way. So I actually had to start Googling things and watching YouTube, and it actually helps a lot, and how to start like business and all that. And for me to be on my feet every day, I read daily quotes. So I keep myself on my feet all the time, because I have nobody to push me in a way.
Which is amazing. Because people think that you need someone backing you in order to be able to make something of yourself.
Exactly.
And what you don't understand is you are your own cheerleader.
I had to learn the hard way, honestly, because for quite some time, with all these businesses that have failed in the previous years, I was relying on those people more. Honestly, like I'm just to be blamed as much as they are as well, because I was fully reliant on them. Clearly, I couldn't do anything without their presence and stuff. So I had to actually sit myself down and be like, okay, cool. So clearly these people, they don't have the same visions as you do. So what are you going to do? Are you always going to have to wait for people to push you to do everything that you want to do? And I was like, okay, firstly, I have no support. So let me try to do this by myself and see where I can get with it. And so far, it's been amazing. Like,
if you want to do something, learn. We are so privileged that we have a computer, a telephone that links us to the World Wide Web, and you can watch videos on how to, YouTube, webinars, coaches, I mean, live interviews. There is so much knowledge out there that there's almost no excuse for anyone not to do it. No. And you know what I find as well, because we get a lot of girls that, you know, are struggling with depression and, you know, mental health. And I always say to them, one of the most rewarding things that you can do for yourself is invest in yourself, reading books, working out, looking after your beauty, your hair. When you invest in yourself, all of a sudden your confidence grows. There is no two ways about it. If you don't know something and you're nervous, your nerves and your anxiety is telling you that you're lacking information that you need to understand in order to be able to be confident and be able to reach out. So for anyone that is watching, listen to us right now, because obviously we have businesses and we are relentless. You're relentless, aren't you? You don't allow errors and mistakes and failures to stop you in your way, do you, darling?
And I really don't take failure very well. So I feel like I always prove to myself. I feel like there's always somebody who's watching me low key without me noticing. So whenever I fail, it's like, yeah, I told you would. So I would actually have to speak to myself again. But girl, not now. I am not about to actually give up on this, and I'm gonna even push more. It's like I'm proving to myself, and I love that. I love that because I feel like I'm my own competition in a way. So there's no need for me to be moving in other people's paces or expecting to boom in a certain time. I feel like if I push myself even harder and in my own pace, then I don't have to wait for anybody to tell me that, girl, you're too slow for a certain thing or whatsoever. I mean, as long as I'm putting in the work, I know I'm going to see the results.
What would you say about the haters? Like, have you had people that hate on you and try and stop you in your path?
I have. It's so funny. I feel like we all do have. I do have. But honestly, I really don't care. I don't pay much attention. For the longest time, I have been alone. That it doesn't surprise me when someone tries to bring me down. It's like, it's not going to do anything to me, honestly. You can even try harder than that. I've been at my lowest. So if you think you are pulling me lower, darling, you don't even know my lowest ground at this point. So
right.
Try.
You know what? For everyone, you know what? I always measure my success by the amount of haters that I have. If I haven't got enough, I need to be getting myself some more, because people only hate on you when you're doing well.
Yes, that is so true. That is so true. And for negativity, for me, I just block and delete. I ain't got time for that. Like,
what have you had, like, any, I don't know, because this is another thing. People find love and they think they're in love, and their partners can be really toxic and stop them from being able to achieve, you know, things that they want, because their boyfriend doesn't like it, or because they're being too masculine, or that's not the role of a woman, or, you know, what do you think about all that?
What I'm going to say firstly is that if you have a partner that doesn't encourage you to wake up in the morning and do something with your life, and rather lets you sleep the whole day while they wake up and do something with their lives, you're with the wrong partner. Let's just start there. The thought of your man seeing you struggling and seeing you in this dark place, and all he does is to build his own empire and they don't care about you. So that's a red flag for me. I don't. And honestly, as well, I've never actually dated anybody who doesn't have a direction in their lives. I feel like I always date people that I look up to in a way. So they keep me on my feet all the time. So when you're motivated, I feel like you're in my league in a way. So I like that.
Your vibe, your tribe. It's so important to be able to mix with the right people.
Yeah, that's just me.
And,
So
and I love that. So for people that want to get into retail, or they want to also get into lingerie or bikinis or clothes or whatever it may be, and they're saying, but I don't know how do I even begin? Sandy, please just help me. How do I do this?
I feel like firstly find what you love. If you love clothes, if you love looking good on the inside, like I do, I feel like it's important to have a good lingerie than what you, I feel like everything that you're wearing outside will be determined by your lingerie. If you have a bad one, you're not going to pick the best outfit. That's just me. So just find what you love and learn more about it firstly. And tell yourself that you're going to waste so much time. You're going to waste so much time trying to make it happen. And if it fails, it's not a failure, it's a lesson. You wouldn't have learned that if you haven't tried before. So just give it a go and see where it will take you. Others literally bloom on a first try. So who knows? Maybe you might be one of those. I mean, I had to go through like several businesses to get here, but I'm sure it might be easier for you. So
I love that. So but the thing is that, like, can you, with your lingerie line, do you ship internationally, or is it just South Africa?
Okay, for now, because I'm still building the website, I only work in South Africa. So the website is almost done now. So I'm hoping that I can actually ship international as well. So as soon as it's done, which is anytime from now, I will be able to ship international.
Then you'll be live. So tell me, who are some of your, like, I don't know, idols or people that you look up to, like famous wise, in business, or just the way they look? Or
honestly, it has never been people. For me, it has always been people behind the scenes. So like I used to look at stores mostly, like your Victoria's Secret. So I used to follow those a lot, and I would love the idea behind it and everything. So that, and your Agent Provocateur. So I used to follow those a lot, and I would actually watch even their shows and everything, and I'd be like, okay, no, I'm addicted to lingerie. That's when I realized it.
really, that's when you.
But actual people, no.
Okay, and what's your family setup now? Like, do you live with your mother and father? Do you have brothers, sisters?
That is a very sensitive one, to be honest with you. I lost my brother now in Jan, and I lost my mother a month ago. Yeah, that's gonna make me cry.
Oh,
so
goodness.
Yeah,
I am so sorry for your losses. This is like, I mean, it's really strange because life is so beautiful yet so cruel.
it is. I actually lost my dad even before. So I lost my dad in 2007, and then I lost my brother in January, and I lost my mom like a month.
Was it through illnesses or?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Don't worry, darling.
My dad had stroke. My brother was autistic, and my mother was early diabetic. But I think it's during this Corona thing. I don't know what actually happened, honestly. But yeah. So I was like, okay.
Do you have other family with you?
Yeah, I do. I have my brothers. I have my aunt. I have a very supportive family. Like, it's
you do.
big. Yeah, I do. Like, it's huge.
That's amazing, because you know, you need that. We all need that, you know.
Yeah.
Every single one of us is. It's strange because none of us can compare ourselves to another person. This is what I always say to everyone. No one knows what the other person is going through, and it's impossible to feel envy or to feel jealous or to feel, why is that person there and I'm not there? Because you just don't understand that all of our lives is so unique. You know, one thing's for sure, and we can say this out loud, and it's hard to digest, but it's the truth, and that is, none of us are getting out alive. This
No, we're
world,
not.
unfortunately, from the moment
No.
we're born, we are dying. And that's why it's really important that for the moments that we do have, we have to try somehow to make the most of it. Because, and you will know this more than absolutely anyone I've spoken to, that life is so fragile.
It is. I had to, it's so strange how I had to learn the hard way. I feel like I learned in the most hardest way ever, like losing everybody that would be so close to you at the same time. It's like, it's insane.
Yeah.
Because there's a time where I actually question myself. I'm like, there are people that have their mothers until they're like 90. Why do I have to lose both parents? But I was like, okay, at some point we're all gonna go through this. It's just a matter of when. So
it's just a matter of when. You're absolutely right. And it's a hard pill to swallow. It's a hard truth to be able to accept. And many people run away from that, thinking that, you know, they live recklessly and they live without responsibility or accountability because they think that it's never going to happen to them. And that's why we have to be so responsible and accountable for everything that it is that we do, starting from how we treat others to how we conduct ourselves in business, you know. And I honestly, I thought you were an incredible girl boss before this, but like now I think that you are honestly like a rock star. Like you are just an admiration to so many women, and your path will become so much clearer as the days go by. I think people need to hear you, you know, when you're ready, because I think that you are going to be such a tower of support and such an influential person that you won't even realize in so many people's lives. And I love your Instagram. You've already got an incredible following. I don't even know how you've done that. 54,000 people. How have you done that?
It is so tricky, honestly. I honestly
tell me.
No, wait. I can't actually be more like honest about it, because it actually surprises me as well. Like 2 years ago, I was literally on 10,000 followers. Like literally 2 years. I was actually checking this out on my other phone. So I took screenshots, because what I would normally do is I would celebrate each 10. So yeah, so I took a screenshot of it and I'm checking the date. I'm like, wait a minute, this is like 2 years ago. What happened?
What happened?
I don't know, but I will tell you now, I feel like consistency, the more you active on Instagram, the more fruitful it will be for you. And good content and good quality as well. And as much as most people don't want to believe this, hashtags do help.
Do they?
They do. They do. They do help. I won't lie to you, but you just need to be consistent with it, because you just draw attention one time. You must check how you would actually put hashtags. You will have all these foreign people coming to your page just to like that picture. So the whole plan is to keep them in.
Right.
So the more content you have, the more they're going to stay. I'll say, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Unless
I feel like social media takes all my life.
Yes, you will have it easy. It's tricky.
It's hard work.
It is so much work. Like, I haven't even been posting in the longest time, and I'm just shocked at how it's still growing without me posting. I'm like, okay, but I can't be too relaxed about this, because
because you're hot, boo. No, I genuinely believe that you are going to grow that following to such an extent that you are going to have a microphone and your voice is going to be heard, and it will happen when you are emotionally strong, and you will be able to, you will be in such a position, because I always believe that God does things in mysterious ways, and there's always a reason for something. I think we all have a journey, and your journey is, I believe, going to be very, very promising, And it actually gives me goosebumps to think about it, because you will be heard. Believe me, everything that you're going through now may feel disastrous, but there is a bigger reason for this. And I think that once you get to that, you'll remember this conversation and you'll remember what I'm saying to you, and something will be in your head and you'll be like, I get my mission. I get what it is that I have to do here. And
I'm definitely gonna come back and tell you all about it, because
you have to.
I'm ready.
You have to, because I know it's going to happen, sweetheart. So I'm going to ask you now, my final question is a question I ask everyone, and that is, if you had a magic wand, right, and you could change one thing only, what would you want to change and why?
I think right now it would be death. It is so hard to take in. So I think there would never be death. We won't have to lose our loved ones. Like, I don't know how they would have to stay. Basically, we would have to be immortal. So that's how I want to leave. Honestly, it's so much to deal with. Like,
I know. And
you can have somebody who's 150 years, and when you lose them, it'll feel like they were 20. That's how strange it is. So, I don't know.
You know, I ask this question, like I said to you, all the time, and I get so many different answers. And it's a kind of bittersweet question, because, you know, one, it gives me so much insight about the person. But then after they give me their answer, it's almost like I actually wish, you know, that I had a magic wand to make it real. But it's just, unfortunately, one of the hard truths of the world. And you know, once again, I'm so sorry, but you are an incredible girl. I'm so happy that we connected. You are so beautiful. You are so stunning. You are so magnetic, and I love what you do. I love how strong you are. I love how consistent and persistent you are. And you carry on doing you, and don't let anyone tell you that you can't, because you can.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I just want to thank you.
My words to live by, definitely. And thank you so much for having me. This was really needed.
Thank you. And you know, you have a friend here in London, so please stay in touch.
I might probably be there soon, so yeah. Now I know I have a friend in London. Okay.
You have a friend in London.
Thank you.
All right, my gorgeous. Take care. Big kiss. Bye, my darling.
Thank you guys for watching as well.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.